The big tire game keeps on getting better for our mini crawlers. Today we're checking out the new Klingon tires from Injora. These are a 70mm tire. It's going to fit on a 1.3-inch wheel, molded in their super sticky compound and with a tread design that looks eerily similar to a very popular larger scale tire. If they perform anything like their bigger cousins, these should be pretty awesome. I've got high hopes for these tires and I'm really excited to check them out. So we're going to open these up, take a look at the compound, do some size comparisons, then we're going to put them on a build and we're going to try them out on the indoor course, and we're going to go hit the rocks. We're going to put these things through all the paces. It's going to be fun. I love checking out new tires with you guys. So let's open these things up and take a look. The Klingons. How many of you in my audience immediately related these to a Star Trek reference? Right. They're sticky. Look at that. Man. Okay, here are the Klingons. Great looking tire. Big, aggressive. Love that compound. This is Injura's super sticky compound. These are a non-directional tire. They're on a bigger wheel. They're on a 1.3-inch wheel, which is good. If you see my other big tire videos, you've seen as the industry trends towards the bigger wheel size, we're able to run these taller tires but not give up sidewall strength. So typically, on a smaller wheel with a really tall tire, you get a lot of sidewall flex. But if you've got a bigger wheel, you've got less sidewall here, so they should maintain their shape and give us good stability. Dimensions on these, they're 70mm tall and a 26mm wide tire. So this is a big one. You're going to need a build with some open fenders or no fenders, something buggy style, something that's got the room to clear these things, because this is a big, gnarly tire. We saw how sticky they were, and then after I opened them, very, very sticky. Let's check out this compound, take the foam out here. It's got a nice soft insert on here. I really like what Injora has been doing with their inserts in their newer tires. They've got a really nice feel to them. Check out the compound. Oh yeah. Music to my ears. I love that sound. Let's address the elephant in the room right away here and just say that these look just like a copy of the J-Concepts Ruptures. Now the Ruptures in green compound by J-Concepts are a legendary tire in the larger scales, and they did release a smaller scale tire in a 1-inch wheel not that long ago. And here are the mini Ruptures here. So let's just take a look at these two together, because if you're like me, you immediately thought that those were pretty much a copy of the Ruptures. Looking at the tread design, they are so similar, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because the Ruptures perform extremely well. Great performing tire. But I gotta say, personally, and guys let me know in the comments down below, when the mini Ruptures came out, I wish they would have been bigger. The larger scale Ruptures, the 1.9 Ruptures, are huge compared to most other 1.9. So when the mini Ruptures came out, I was really hoping that they were going to be as large in terms of size compared to their competitors. But they are not. They came in smaller. So these to me are kind of like the Ruptures that I feel like we should have gotten from J-Concepts initially. Now I love the Ruptures, don't get me wrong. They've stayed on old Snaggletooth here ever since I put them on. Very, very happy with those tires. But I'm really excited to see a bigger, more jacked, basically twin of them here. Alright, with that out of the way, let's do some size comparisons of these things. Now getting into the 70+ mm size, we're getting pretty limited in what we can compare it to fairly. So here I have the Injora 70mm Swamp Claws. These also are on a 1.3-inch wheel. Very, very similar dimensions. The Swamp Claw is slightly wider at a 27mm. It looks wider than that, probably just because of the gnarly lug design. You can see that the Klingon has a more rounded profile, also non-directional here, but otherwise they're very, very similar. We can look at the Klingon against the DJ Crawler, the 68mm DJ Crawler pin tires. Now these are pretty comparable. Only 2mm separate these in terms of height, and 1mm by width. Now the DJ Crawlers are a 25mm, so slightly narrower than the Klingons, also on a 1-inch wheel. So when I talk about sidewall flex, you see these are going to be real prone to sidewall flex as opposed to the larger tire, which isn't going to get as much roll there. That's the benefit of the bigger wheel size in action. You can also look at it against, this is a 68mm tire. This came off of the Hobby Plus Evo Pro. This is on a 1.2-inch wheel, slightly shorter, much narrower here. We've also got the 72mm comp pins from Injora on the Tarantula build here. And the 72s, they look shorter because it's under a lot of weight here and sagging under the weight of the build. But these are going to be slightly taller. Width on the pins is 24, so it's slightly narrower than the Klingons. We're actually going to be putting the Klingons on this build. Old trusty Tarantula here has been our workhorse for all of these big tire comparisons lately. We're going to keep it rolling with the Klingons. And just to give you an idea of just how far we've come as far as tires go in the mini market here we are against the stock SCX-24 Trail Grappler, the stock Canyon Trail from a TRX 4M, and the new Klingons. When you look at the size difference here, astronomical difference as far as size goes with the new Klingons. Crazy to see how far we've come as far as tires on these little things. Alright, now that we've checked these things out, we've done some size comparisons, let's get them on the build, get them on the old Tarantula here. I got to use these wheels because they're the only 1.3 inch wheels that I have, so I got to make this swap. We'll throw the Klingons on here and we'll see how this thing does. Man, I'm in love with these tires already. They look so good on this build. How gnarly do these tires look on here? So much better on the truck and on the wheel, I feel. They looked good out of the package and I was excited to try them, but seeing them on the Tarantula here, this looks fantastic. The tread on these looks so aggressive. In the sidewall, the lugs hanging off the side here. Man, I bet these things are going to grip so hard. From a size perspective, they look excellent on the Tarantula. Not too big, just the right size, I feel. At full lock, I'm getting a tiny bit of rub there on the tubular chassis, not much. Now this is also running hex extensions on here to bump out the wheels from the body because I was running into rubbing when I was running 72mm on here. These could be the perfect size for this truck, I feel. From a sidewall flex, get a little bit of fold there. Again, not that much. I got a lot of weight in the front as well. So we're going to see how they side hill when we get it on the course. But boy, don't these things look good. Wow. I think I'm going to have to order a couple more sets of these, I think. These are so great looking. But rather than sit here and admire this on the bench, why don't we get this on the course and try it out? Okay, on the course, here it is. Now, if you saw the video where I tested the 72mm comp pins, those were arguably the best performing tires I've ever had on the indoor course. Now let's see if these can measure up or do better. Certainly have them beat from a looks perspective. My gosh, I am in love with the tires already. First run ever, so they are not scrubbed in. Virgin run here. Getting a little bit of rub in there up front, more than I thought on the bench, but still doing okay. Try an aggressive line up the canyon. Oh my gosh, the grip is insane. I think the comp pins reign on the indoor course may be coming to an end. Just a hunch. Maybe we'll recover there. That was impressive. Not a lot of sidewall flex on that off camber. Drop into mini Moab. Hit the usual challenge lines. I'm going to try to crawl the gatekeeper first here, just to see how these grab on the styrofoam. Oh man, and they do effortlessly. Let's see how they do as far as understeer goes. Are they going to push off the course? They are not. They're going to stick like glue. Let's try the side hill. How gnarly does that thing look? Holy cow. Yeah, pretty planted. Little to no flex there. A little bit in the front. Super planted. We are in Hell's Gate. I'm going to try Hell's Gate, and then I'm going to try to make up some challenge lines for this thing. Because that was nothing at all. Oh, man. All right, try this hip line. We're going to go up the side of the chute here. I'm going to try to make it up this really gnarly, sharp edge. We made it over the initial part pretty simple. Whoa. Klingons living up to their name here. We are clinging on for dear life. Well, we made it up that line in a roundabout way. I'm going to try one more time. Try a different approach from the bottom here. Trick is to ride the tire up the very edge there. It wants to come back down. That's okay. Still super impressive. I'll have to go back and watch the tire review that I did on the 72mm pins. I feel like these Klingons are doing better on the indoor course than the pins did. I can't remember exactly though. These are doing fantastic. Certainly the best tires inside in recent memory. Incredible grip on all of the different surfaces on the indoor course. Try one more challenge line before we wrap this up. Head over here into the corner. This is a tough one. Wow. All right, I'm super impressed. All right, head up the canyon one more time. We'll take an aggressive line here, and then we're going to go hit the rocks. Very nice. All right, let's go outdoors. Out here with the tarantula and the Klingons at Crawler Heaven. It's a beautiful spring day. Day before Easter out here. Once again, no one here. I got the place to myself. Not a bad thing, but very surprising. Let's hit the rocks with this little beast. See how these tires do. Try a couple of easier sections, then we'll progressively get harder. Whoa. Those sidewalls grabbing really nice up there. Coming across this off-camber section. I'm wide, I gotta be careful of this. Very nice. The slick off-camber section stuck out really well. Let's get into some more technical, challenging sections here. Boy, these look so good on this truck. I love it. Again, those sidewalls doing work down there on the bottom. Wow, look at this, dominating this section. Easy. Been super impressed with these tires all around. And I'm already in love with them. Just being out here on the rocks, this is just icing on the cake. Real tough section here for the little trucks. Weave my way around here. This is gonna be tricky. Man, a huge hole back there. It's tough to see. Able to pop out. Try and do this one-handed. Now, if any of you follow me on Instagram or Facebook and saw my stories, I was hospitalized yesterday for an infection in my hand that I got from poking myself with my driver. I got a bacterial infection in my palm, and my middle finger swelled up like a sausage. I had to do the hand of God there. But anyway, I'm getting back to normal on antibiotics right now, but still trying to do this beat up with one hand, making it work. Wasn't going to miss today though. Beautiful day. Got to get out here. Wrestling our way through Bicycle Bridge with the Mini. Very impressive. This tarantula build is a champ, I gotta say. This has been my workhorse for all these big tires, and I come out here, we put it in some rough spots, get it pinched in between rocks, I push it pretty hard, and this thing just keeps on going. Tough section here through this rocky uphill. These are slick rocks, and they're spaced out just enough to get you hung up all over the place. Let these things bite. See, the track builders used a mixture of insulation and rocks here. So this is tricky. Get up over here. Nice. Try the other side of this. This is another really challenging section for the Minis. Steep uphill on this slide that they've converted into a rocky climb. Again, the rocks are just sized and spaced enough to be really tricky for these little trucks. It takes a lot of work to get through here. This is a really gnarly section. I don't know if this translates on camera, but this is a tough one. Man, those sidewalls grip so hard. I'm hung up on the rear axle there. We're gonna make it though. I got through that section and I can get up through the rest. I think we can do it. Whoa, that was a tough one. That was a clean run for a little truck on that line. Let's try a steep uphill here, see how they grab a situation like this. Very nice. This is very steep, very challenging. Nice job. Alright guys, I gotta say these are excellent tires. Look at the grip on the side hill there. Clinging on, living up to their name again. Really love these tires. These are doing fantastic. Great grip on the indoor course, and they're crushing it out here on the rocks as well. Oh, jeez. That's a case in point there. This thing is just tough. That's a nasty section too. Just doing so good out here. I'm impressed. Very impressed with these tires. Definitely another great option if you're looking for a big aggressive tire for a pretty built rig. Probably the 18th scale and above. These are great. It's going to be tough to fit these on an SCX 24 or smaller scale, but definitely possible with a highly modified rig. Worth it if you can fit them though. Man, these are impressive. That's good timing, I suppose. My battery is just about dead. So I'm going to wrap this up, head back to the bench, give you guys my final thoughts, although I think you can tell I really like these tires. Had a great experience today with the Klingon tires. Really enjoyed these things. These were an impulse Amazon buy. They finally showed up in my Prime and I had to give them a shot. And I'm so glad I did. Had a couple folks message me on Instagram saying that they've experienced understeer with these things where they push and don't stick the line. Can't say that I experienced that here. I felt like these performed exceptionally well, especially on the indoor course where they stuck lines and exhibited no understeer. Even in areas that have plagued many other rigs with understeer, these things stuck really well on the styrofoam on the indoor course. Getting them out on the rocks at Crawler Heaven, I felt like they performed great out there too. So overall driving impressions with these tires on the Tarantula build, I felt like they worked great. On the indoor course, I gotta say, they are the best performing tires in recent memory on the indoor course. And out on the rocks, they performed really well, although I think if we're comparing big tires, the DJ Crawler 72mm pins have a slight edge over these things. But nonetheless, I really like these tires. I love the look of them, the tread pattern, the size is great. The 70mm is perfect for a built 18th scale rig like the Tarantula here. I'm anxious to try them on some other builds. I'm going to order another set or two and try them on some other trucks to see if I can replicate the good performance that I had on the Tarantula. I'll put the link down in the description below on where you can order these tires. And remember, if you order them from Injora Direct, you can use my discount code and save 5%. And let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of the Klingon tires? And as always, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.